it's like it's crazy. Like this whole it's crazy. I stand corrected in that I didn't realize how much he had going on. Like I didn't know he was actually in high schools. Like that's so crazy to me.
You didn't realize he was what?
In high schools, like in all those chapters were in high schools. Like I knew that he talked to like he never debated like his age people. I know that he went to colleges and stuff to debate, but I didn't know that he was like in high schools. All his
I don't know
chapters.
what you mean he was in high schools.
Like all those chapters were in high schools. Like they're all the turning point
Oh yeah,
chapters.
well it was a youth organization.
Oh, I thought it okay. I thought it was just a like a PAC or just like a conservative. I didn't know it was directed towards the youth. I really
Yes,
that's
just like this is.
it's fucked up. What like what is
This is a youth organization too.
well, no, it's not a political
Yeah, it
organization.
is.
Not
This
a
is I'm
political.
directing my efforts towards the youth.
All right, well, you have it's not a youth political organization.
No, no, no.
That's
But
what because
I mean,
that
like we're already grown. We already know. We already,
well
this like.
that so is he. And so I was weird that he was talking
Well, he was only 31.
yeah, he was talking to children though, 18-year-olds and shit. I mean, all younger than that,
He
but like
would,
at college.
yeah.
College.
Well, okay, okay. I don't understand what your point is
Oh, my point is just that I never saw him debate like,
because you keep saying children. When I think of children, I think of
well,
children
he was
like
in high
young
school.
children.
Oh, like
Yeah,
5-year-olds or
young
whatever.
adults.
Oh, well, yeah, high schoolers. Right.
Yeah, young adults. I wouldn't call high schoolers children.
Well, not old enough to vote yet. They still have to be.
Young adults. They graduate, they vote, right?
Well, no, but he was in high schools. He was at high schools. They weren't graduated. Like he
Okay.
had
It's a
chapters in high
youth
schools.
organization, so he's
Uh-huh.
focused on the youth.
Right.
But obviously,
I
he
just
wouldn't be
didn't
focused on
realize.
children because children don't have an understanding of these concepts yet. But once you get to high
Right.
school level, then you start to understand these things, and that's where he was focusing his
I mean,
attention.
kind of pretty immature. I
What?
don't
What do
know.
you mean,
I just
kinda?
didn't know. I mean, you kind of understand these things. You don't understand step politics until, I mean, and some people don't ever understand politics. I mean, it's
Okay,
complicated.
that's had nothing to do with what I'm talking about.
Oh,
I'm not
okay.
saying that how much anybody can absorb of anything. I'm saying when you start to become politically aware is around high school age.
Yeah, I mean, it just seemed like the whole thing to me, I'll just keep it real. The whole entire operation from the beginning of Charlie Kirk's career when he was 18 and receiving the money and starting the organization, it just seems like an indoctrination campaign. And it seems like it almost seems like a cult the way that they're coming at people like for not being empathetic about
All
him.
right, so
Like
I'm going to break something down that is the truth, and
we
that
control.
because like when you say stuff like that, you just triggered me a little bit.
Okay.
Everything is indoctrination. Everything, all of it. If we want to keep a country, we must indoctrinate our children. It's all about
What do you
indoctrination.
mean keep a country?
Everything.
What do you mean keep a country though?
You cannot keep a country
What do you
and
mean?
not teach the children the
That's fine. I just
values.
don't know what you mean by keep a country. And
A country, the United States. The United States would cease to exist if we did not indoctrinate our children.
I okay. I don't think that's true because
Well, think about
the
it.
parents
Follow
are
it
the end
logically
all.
out. Follow it
Huh?
logically out
Okay, but what role are you giving the parents when you say that? Like, are you saying
to
parents are
indoctrinate their
indoctrinated?
children.
Okay, indoctrinated.
Parents need
I
to
say
indoctrinate their
teach.
children
Okay,
too.
I just say teach, cherish, nurture, love.
Indoctrinate. That's what it's all
Keep,
about.
cherish, and love is not indoctrinate. You have to read me a
I didn't say
definition of that
only
is
indoctrinate,
okay.
but yes, they need to be
Okay.
indoctrinated.
Okay. So
So this idea that Charlie Kirk would be an indoctrination, it would. So
like
what?
more to an
Everything is
extreme. I feel like
indoctrination.
it
They're
was
going
like
to
a
be in.
cult.
Pardon
Like
me.
it was like a mm, long vision, low initial impact cult. Like it was a cult.
Cult, like
Yeah,
Jim Jones drinking the purple
yeah,
Kool-Aid.
yeah.
How so?
Because of the way that they worship. It's like any other kind of
Who
religious
worships what?
or Charlie Kirk, his following, his people, his base, his the
His
student.
base. You think they
It's
worship
just
Charlie
so
Kirk?
easy. God. Yeah, hell yeah. What do you mean? This has been
How do you think they
crazy
worship
watching
Charlie
how people
Kirk?
are they're freaking out. They're comparing him to George Floyd for some weird reason. I can't imagine what that is.
Okay,
They're
so
like
Charlie
they're
Charlie
using
Kirk
it. They're
Charlie Kirk was super
I'll
Christian.
see you in Valhalla, brother. Like he was super, was he? That's not, I mean,
Well,
okay.
Valhalla was Cash Patel. You mixing all kind of
Yeah,
shit up
no, but
right
I
now.
looked it up on 4chan and 8chan and went back. That was like
Yeah, but
the
Cash Patel
word
said that they ain't got nothing to do with what we're talking about.
when he was talking about Charlie Kirk. I'm saying that his followers, when
Uh-huh.
I see them, it seems like it was a cult. It's really gross. I can't imagine following anybody like that. Like they are really going crazy. Like that charliesmurderers.com thing was bananas.
Charlie's what?
Charliesmurderers.com, that thing was so crazy to me.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Where they took all the people that had not shown empathy towards his death and got them fired. And there was pages and pages and pages. It's now been taken down. I have it. I have a copy of it though, because that
Okay.
was crazy.
That's a different thing too. Like I don't know why you're mixing up all these different things. That's a whole thing,
No, but
about
I'm mixing up what?
people
I'm
getting
saying I'm
called
mixing
out
like a
for,
cult.
huh?
Getting fired, not called out, getting fired, taking away their livelihood because they weren't
Okay, people
empathetic
getting
about
called out because of their reaction to the Charlie Kirk assassination is a free speech issue.
exactly. The
Right.
cult, though,
So,
I'm talking about the cult that went after them, you know?
okay. But
Like that's crazy. Like, what are you doing? Like we called the left a cult when they did that.
I don't think you mean to use that word cult.
Okay. Did we not, or did we call the left a cult? Like the way that they are is like a cult.
Do you understand what a cult is?
Wait, yes, can you answer me? Have they
What?
did we not call the left a cult?
We?
I mean, you know what I'm saying.
I don't call the I listen,
Okay, so you never called the left a cult.
I don't really call anybody cults
Okay, but
personally.
did you ever refer to the left as a cult? Like the people that follow their ideologies like intensely? Were
Personally,
you never
not really. I might have said cultist
not
behavior, but I
really,
don't know
but you're
yeah.
acting like you don't understand what I'm saying. Like you do understand what I'm saying,
Okay.
right?
I do understand cultish behavior on the left, and I
Okay.
understand cultish behavior on the right.
Okay.
Not understanding how Charlie Kirk fits into this because I don't see cultish behavior around him. So I
Really?
don't think you mean to use the word
It's
cult.
mind-boggling. Maybe you just don't see it then. But the
Well, that's why I
people that
said,
are,
that's why I was saying, do you understand the word cult? Do we need to look that
yeah,
up for
I
clarification?
can just give you the exact example of the left, how the left was referred to as a cult by the way that they were so intensely um, enamored by everything that had to do with left ideology. And they were doing things in, it was like Mockingbird, like they were just repeating. I see the same talking points on the Charlie Kirk thing over and over again. And they're so mind-numbingly ridiculous and don't make any sense at all. Comparing him to George Floyd is like, it's like comparing a sandwich to a fish. Like, I just don't understand. What are you talking about? Please. Like, I don't get that. And over and over and
I'm not
over and
understanding
over
what
and
you're
over again.
saying. I've not seen
That
the
is a cult thing
comparison,
when you repeat
but
some
I know.
weird thing that
Let me
doesn't make
ask you the
any
question.
sense at
Let me ask.
all over and over again because of somebody else believed it
Okay,
or
so
said it or told them to say it. That's cultish.
I don't know if I want to get bogged in on this or not to try to make you understand what a cult is and why this isn't
You don't have
cultish.
to make me understand anything. You can say,
Well,
"Oh,
because
well,
I
we have
don't
a
want you to
difference of
sound
opinion."
like you do, because you don't sound
Oh, I'm
you
clear
don't
on how I
sound.
sound. I'm sound like
I'm like, what are
really.
you
I
talking
sound like
about?
somebody
Okay,
who's
so
not
listen.
connected
Okay, so
to
fine. So let me
these
explain it to you
maniacal,
then.
crazy
I know you're not
cult-like
a fool. I'm not
motherfuckers.
saying that you're a fool, but that this
You don't have
like
to
it
show
doesn't
me
just
like the typical. I'm talking about
okay.
when
So
so that you're clear. I am using cult in the same way that people use it towards the left.
no, they're
That's the
not.
way
No, you're
I'm using
not.
it.
That's the
Yes.
problem.
Okay.
That's the
Okay.
problem.
Okay.
If Charlie Kirk led a
Bam.
cult,
Exactly that.
if Charlie Kirk led a cult, it would be Christianity because he was super Christian and he was
Well, he
never
said he
like people
was.
weren't
He said he
following
was,
him
but
like,
he didn't
huh?
necessarily do what Jesus does. Like would do. Like he said he was Christian. That's like how cults are. They say they
Okay,
they
so what is your problem with Charlie Kirk?
no, I didn't. I was talking about his followers, remember?
No, what did he do that's got you like saying all this stuff
Him?
about it?
Him? I didn't say
Yeah.
him. I was talking about his followers.
No, all right. So first, I just said
That's what
Charlie
I
Kirk was
you
super
started.
Christian, and then you Like it's like okay,
Well, obviously he
I don't
wasn't.
understand
The
if
way
you're
he
playing
talked
devil's
wasn't like
advocate.
Christian.
What'd you say?
The things he said wasn't like Christian. He didn't even believe in
Everything he
empathy. That's
said was
what Jesus was
Christian.
all about, empathy. Like, what are you talking about?
No,
Like,
he
Charlie
okay.
Kirk
You
didn't
interpret.
believe in empathy.
Okay, you are not Christian. So how would you tell me what Jesus is all
Okay,
about?
so what would Jesus do? What does that mean? Like that
It means
means
something different to everybody that says it. I'm
okay.
not,
My bad then. Okay. Jesus,
you know,
okay. All
everybody's.
right.
It's
So he
like,
believed that Jesus would be non-empathetic. What
but
did he say?
why are you saying he's not empathetic?
Because he said he wasn't. What do you mean? He said that
He
empathy
said
is
I'm
a
not
new age
empathetic.
concept. Empathy is a
What?
new age concept and it's a downfall of our society. So I feel like Jesus wouldn't
Okay,
say
but
that, but
you
that's just
again,
me.
you
Maybe that's
okay?
how I know
I know,
Jesus.
but it's like I'm talking to a leftist sometimes. Like you're
You
taking him
say that, but
completely
it's
out of
not true. I'm just a
context.
realist. You
You
get it
took him
confused sometimes.
completely out of context, though.
What
When
do
you
you mean?
quoted him, just like they do, they
All I did
quoted
was
him
quote
out
him.
of
What how do
context
you take a quote out of context? Like it's a quote.
because there's stuff that comes before he says that and stuff
Okay,
that
what did
comes
he say
after he
before
says that.
that that means that he is empathetic? Did he say, I don't believe this way? Some people say that empathy is a new age concept. He didn't say that before that. I can't quote exactly what he said before that, but that's not what he said. So it's still his quote.
But it's not a quote. You don't even know what he said.
Yes, I
You're
do.
kind of remembering. This is what
No,
I'm saying. Like this is what I'm
no,
saying.
I
You
actually
kind of
haven't.
remember, but you don't actually.
Let me
But you're
see.
convinced that he did this thing. And every
I
time I
don't, I
look
mean,
for these things,
convinced means that I care that much. I'm just saying that that's the way he was. Like, that
right,
doesn't seem
so
like the Jesus
every time
I
I
know.
look for these things that people are characterizing around Charlie Kirk and Turning Point USA, like they don't make any sense. They're not culty. He just
All
went
right.
to campuses and had debates. Like, what are you talking
No,
about?
yeah, he went to
He
college
went to
campus.
college campuses and had debates. That's
Yeah.
it.
Why didn't he go to like, why college campuses?
Because that's where oh my God, that's where ideas are
I'm just
formulated.
asking, why do you get frustrated if I
Oh,
ask a question? I'm just
because you're
asking a
asking,
question.
okay, it's like you're not okay.
Because I
Listen.
don't want it to be what looks obvious to me. Like, I don't want it to be
Okay.
like that he was just, you know,
Okay. I don't know where
debating
else you
people
would
that he felt were
go to
intellectually below
influence
him or
the
whatever.
youth to be closer to God and to be Republican. That's
Well,
exactly where you go.
he didn't preach. I thought he
He
was
literally
debating,
did. He was
preach God.
literally like the super
So
Christian
he
guy.
was a preacher?
Not a preacher, but he's super Christian.
Right.
Like this guy, he
I
was a
hear
good
that
guy.
point that people
He was
talk
a good
all the
guy.
time.
He did not spew hate. I can't find it anywhere. I'm
Okay.
looking everywhere for this.
What are you
I'm looking
talking
for
about, please?
racism.
Okay, let's
I'm
play a
looking
video
for
of Charlie
like
Kirk.
all this stuff that people are saying. And
I mean, we can just look at this montage then. Do you want to do
okay,
that?
show me a montage.
Okay, I will do that.
I'm sure it's going to be all
Uh,
kind of clips out of context.
if that's the way that you're going in looking at it, that's fine. But
Well,
out of
no, I'm
context, I
going
don't
and
sound
looking
like
at
a
it.
fuck.
Listen, I'm going to
I know
go in
how
and
I
look
sound
at
out
it
of
like a
context.
normal person. But if it turns out that it's a bunch of
No,
clips out of context, I'm going to say, see, that's what I'm talking about.
okay, that's fine. Okay, but you'll have to give me the context to which is out of what you're considering out of.
Well, I
Okay,
don't know. I'm going to have to see what you show me first.
copy
I have,
that.
These
I have
blacks trying to go rob her happening.
One thing that, well, we'll just play the clip real quick. And it's just me, something I personally don't appreciate. And since I am the queen of my world, I can have my opinion.
For sure. Like, I want to know. Like, it's frustrating to me because I keep hearing this stuff, but I don't see it. I'm like, I need
Yeah,
to
but
see it.
I'm not like that. That's kind of frustrating to me because you know that I'm not like that, where I'm just like I just latch onto something and then that's the end of it. Like I'm even willing. I've listened to Nick Fuentes. Like I don't. I'm just like I'm willing to hear everything that everybody has to say, but
Right.
the way that people are rewriting this dude, it's crazy to me. Sorry, sharing.
Well, I mean, there would be clips floating around of him being super racist. I would see
I
them.
don't see how you don't see clips of
I
him being,
don't.
or maybe you just don't consider it racist, which is interesting.
Well, it's a different
What?
thing, yeah.
All the time in urban America.
Oops.
Prowling blacks go around for fun to go target white people. That's a
I don't know
fact.
why.
Black crime is a major issue in our country. Why are you pushing criminal justice reform exactly? Joy Reid and Michelle Obama and Sheila Jackson Lee and Ketanji Brown Jackson, they're coming out and they're saying, I'm only here because of affirmative action. Yeah, we know. You do not have the brain processing power to otherwise be taken really seriously. You had to go steal a white
See, all
person's
those are
slot
cuts,
to go be
right?
taken
What?
somewhat seriously. Now, the
You
southern
see, all
border
those are cuts, right?
is, of course, the great
Yeah, of
replacement.
course.
They're trying to
Oh, God, he turned into.
They're
replace us
cutting his
demographically.
they're
They're
cutting
trying to
his
make the
words
country
together
less
to make it
white.
Okay, do
It
you
is an
want to address the shit?
anti-white
Do you want to
Huh?
address each one and tell the people like what he said prior to that makes it an
Well,
audit?
I don't know how to
Makes it not
find
true?
these particular speeches, but I've seen that one that
Okay,
he's
so then
talking
tell me
about
from your memory. I
with
believe you. I trust you. So tell me
yeah,
what you
I've seen
remember.
that one he's talking about with Ketanji Brown Jackson or whatever,
Yeah.
and that's not even close to. He wasn't saying that they. Okay,
He said, okay,
what he was
they don't have
saying
the
was
brain
that
power.
no, he wasn't saying
I just
that
don't know
they.
how he
Okay,
knows. Okay.
Charlie Kirk's death has led me to an uncomfortable conversation that I want to facilitate. To my white brothers and sisters, how would you hope your minority friends respond to the celebration of Charlie Kirk's life when he has very publicly said things like this?
I live like a capitalist every single day, Shank. I live as a capitalist. Because of DEI, it begs the question when you see a black pilot, you wonder, you say, I hope they are qualified. If I'm dealing with somebody in customer service who's a moronic black woman, I wonder, is she there because of her excellence? And Michelle Obama and Sheila Jackson Lee and Ketanji Brown Jackson were affirmative action picks. They're coming out and they're saying, I'm only here because of affirmative action. Yeah, we know. You do not have the brain processing power to otherwise be taken really seriously.
Refer to Asian individuals by the C word, a word too violent for me to even utter.
We started this whole thing off wrong. I would suggest you do some research and get some context about things before you start formulating your opinions. For one, he didn't call anyone the C word. He called the man by his name. He was talking to the man whose name is Chank. Chank was speaking out of turn from the crowd, saying something to Charlie that was not true. Now, you can argue Charlie lost his self-control, which I think he did. I think he should have handled it a little bit better, but he wasn't calling anybody the C word. So again, we're starting this whole thing off with misinformation. Now, let's let you continue.
Refer to Michelle Obama and Ketanji Brown Jackson of the Supreme Court, both Harvard graduates, as not having the brain processing power to be taken seriously.
Yes, he can critique their brain processing power. Also, Ketanji Brown Jackson and Kamala Harris are both DEI hires, and I'll show you the proof here in a second. But back to brain processing power. Let's go back to Ketanji Brown Jackson when she was asked a question. Watch this.
Can you provide a definition for the word woman?
Can I provide a definition? No,
Yeah,
I can't.
you can't?
I think you and I can both agree that a woman wanting to be nominated for the Supreme Court should be able to define what a woman is. It's not rocket science. Now let's go back to the proof of DEI. Listen to Joe Biden.
I committed that if I'm elected president, have an opportunity to appoint someone to the courts, I'll appoint the first black woman to the courts. It's required that they have representation now. It's long overdue. Secondly, if I'm elected president, my cabinet, my administration will look like the country. And I commit that I will, in fact, I'll pick a woman to be vice president.
So yes, in the 2020 primaries, Joe Biden told us what he was going to do. Ketanji Brown Jackson and Kamala Harris were both DEI hires or appointees or picks, whatever you want to say. And his DEI appointee to the Supreme Court couldn't even define what a woman is. Joe Biden didn't say, hey, I'm going to go find the absolute best person for the job. I don't care if they're a man. I don't care if they're a woman. I'm going to go find the best person for the job. He said, I'm going to put women in both positions, and I'm going to put a black woman on the Supreme Court. And that is the energy the left was trying to spread across the country. And for a while, that was spreading across the country. There are also many people on the left who try to lower standards for black people. So just because someone like Joe Biden says somebody's qualified, what is their definition of qualified? So what Charlie Kirk is saying makes perfect sense. If you know a bunch of people are getting put in positions due to the color of their skin, that begs the question, are they actually qualified? Because we know it's not about merit at this point, it's about skin color. And Joe Biden was trying to set that precedent from the top. So no, Charlie's not wrong for saying that. And also, I want to go back to Charlie saying this.
If I'm dealing with somebody in customer service who's a moronic black woman, I wonder, is she there because of her excellence?
I think a lot of people are going to take that out of context, and he said that black women are moronic. That is not what he said. He was being very specific with what he said. He said a moronic black woman. He didn't say black women are all moronic. He's giving a very specific situation. If there's a moronic black woman in customer service that's not doing good at her job, he wonders if she's there due to merit or if she's a DEI hire because people are focusing on skin color aggressively in their hiring processes. That's not racist. So I'm not speaking for white people. I can't speak for them specifically here. What I'm saying, though, is I would expect black people to be able to see these things for what they are and not be emotionally manipulated by compilations that aren't really accurate about what's going on. I would expect Black people to do their research, no offense, like you didn't because you thought he called him a slur when he just called him by his name. I would expect us to do more research about many of these topics rather than just seeing something taken out of context and then latching onto that and saying, oh, he's racist, he's a bigot, he's this, he's that. So I would expect Black people to be better than that and see through a bunch of these lies that are being spread. And then if you're able to see through the lies that are being spread, there's no reason to be offended about people celebrating his life. Anyway, just a reminder, I have a free email newsletter where I give you morning updates about what's going on, and this is where I give you more in-depth information. This is one of the only places I cannot be censored.
Okay, first off, he is right about the idea that white people wonder if the Black person was qualified because of DEI. That happens, and that's not racist.
He didn't say I wonder. He didn't say I wonder. That's number one.
I didn't say what he said. What did I say?
He said, but he's not right.
He said they're not wrong that white people wonder whether or not Black people are qualified because of DEI. That's what I said.
Okay. That's
not wrong.
It's wrong for one reason.
That's not wrong.
No, it's not wrong that white people can like wonder that, because of course a lot of white people are.
It's not wrong. I would wonder it too. Like, what are you talking about? If you gotta give these people
the same way, but okay, at least you're saying you would wonder it in the same way that how we know that like jobs are just given to white people because they're white, like it's historically. So we would wonder if they're qualified as well too, like nepotism and all those things aside. Like I don't know, Hunter Biden, is he really a painter? Is that painting worth $1.5 million? I doubt it. I think that that's a nepotism thing. Is that what you're saying? Like that?
No.
Okay, because DEI didn't really affect Black people, as you know. No, I'm just giving an example. Like, you know how to compare apples to oranges, can't you?
But you're not comparing apples to oranges. First off, we're just talking about him saying racist things, right?
Yeah, but you're saying that that's right.
Let me finish my sentence. The clip that you showed spliced up like 5 different parts of one conversation. But if you watch the entire conversation, you understand what he's talking about, and it's not racist. And I wish I could find it, but I don't know how to find Charlie. I'm not a Charlie Kirk stan or anything. I don't know how to find all these different conversations, but I've seen that one in particular, and I know what he was talking about, and it wasn't racist.
And you're right. You're right to you. To me, I personally don't understand why he was talking about Black people so much at all, ever. Why would, huh?
Stop your share.
Oh, yes, sir. Wait, do you not want to see the rest of it? No.
Well, I'm just saying, if we're not,
right. Well, that was okay. Like the people that talk like this, okay, about like Irene.
I think that Black people are too sensitive, and they don't want to be criticized by anybody.
I don't know.
And I think it's a fault. I think as soon as you criticize, I think Black people will scream racism as soon as they're criticized. I think they are too sensitive, and they need to get over that shit. And somebody Black needs to be doing it. And if it's me, then it's me. But y'all need to get it. It is what it is. Y'all are too fucking sensitive.
You got Officer Tatum. You got
Yeah, well, whatever. I don't know. I ain't like Officer Tatum. I ain't like that.
Police.
But I'm just saying, it's like regular shit. It's like, y'all stop being so goddamn sensitive.
Regular shit. It's none of his fucking, like, what is he even talking about? He spends so much time talking about Black people. Like, why are you doing that? And his wife.
That's what's so funny about it. It's like you're saying that like it's a fact, but it's just not true.
I saw so much. That's all that I knew about him, is what I'm saying. Like,
I know, because that's all your algorithm is showing you.
Okay. On X, it's a cesspool of everything. So I don't really feel like I have an algorithm on X. So I just see like,
just because you don't feel like it don't mean you don't.
I mean, it's crazy. Like nothing I want to see comes on X. Like, so it doesn't seem like it's catering to its consumer. It's 250 characters.
I don't know what you mean, because I don't know how you use it or anything like that.
How I use it when I am in the garden. What do you mean how I use it? I certainly go on X.
Are we perfect? We must be perfect, because nobody can tell Black people anything. If I get up here and I preach to the Black community, it's, oh, you hate Black women, or you are Uncle Tom, you a Sambo, you supporting whites. Like, nah, bro. If someone's saying something to shine light on an issue in the community that can probably improve the community, what's the problem? If Dr. Umar said, and y'all know y'all love Dr. Umar. I don't know why. You know, he does say some legit stuff, but I give you that. If Dr. Umar, you know, shines light on an issue in the black community, y'all got a problem with him. White people can't do it. Black people can't do it. Who can do it? If a black woman do it, y'all call her a pygmy. Who can do it, bruh? So, I mean, y'all mad at Charlie Kirk, and he did say
we have a sensitive past.
Wild thing. He did spew some wild stuff about the black community. We ain't gonna sit here and debate that. That's not a debate. But I think his intent was, you know, just to speak the truth. That's all, you know. And the truth doesn't always feel good. Like, for instance, when he brings up the black on black crime, you know, people don't realize, like, yeah, we do unalive each other more than any other race unalives us. It's a fact. Is it comfortable to hear? No. But y'all hear him say it. Now y'all talking about he hate black people. It's a fact. It don't matter who say it. It's a fact, bruh. So the black community specifically, we just too sensitive, man. And because you don't like what someone said, you get online and start celebrating their assassination. At the end of the day, we all Americans. We all human. You're sick and you're evil. Like, this shit is crazy, bro. I never thought I would see something like this in my life, man. And it's sad.
He's right, bro. Like, honestly, there is nobody, and when I say nobody, I mean nobody, that can hold the black community accountable. They'll try to cloak it and try to act like, well, no, it's how you say it, or you're too abrasive or whatever. It doesn't matter. Listen, this is not the first time that the community or the community actually celebrated somebody's death. They do it all the time. They did it to Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels actually was much, much, much tougher on men than he was on women, but he was tougher because he wanted them to be the best. He wanted them to be great. He wanted to open up satellite spaces where, young black men would be able to go and then enjoy themselves. And that's one of the things that he would talk to me about on a regular basis. But they don't care. They don't care about that. They're not interested in hearing none of that. They only want to do what they want to do.
Everybody has an opinion. That dude, I haven't.
That's how I feel. I feel like you can't criticize them for shit, and you know
that's
they
not true. I just don't see. So speaking of algorithms, so you don't see like the fathers in Chicago, like you don't see like.
When I say they, let me back this up, because I'm not talking about they as in black people in general, because that's a whole nother fucking subject. I'm talking about these specific pockets where they've concentrated black populations and they've poisoned them and they've taken away their fathers and they're subjecting them to this satanic, hideous music, right?
Yeah.
There are these certain pockets where these people are acting a certain way because they've been targeted, and you know, but again, if you can't criticize it, if nobody can ever say anything about black people, like, what is that about?
But you're sitting there talking about like what's happened, and that's good. I never heard him do that. Like Charlie Kirk, all he said, what I heard him say, maybe it was out of context, but that prior to giving black people civil rights, there were more fathers in the home, and they were committing less crime, and like that was like there was a correlation to civil rights and crime being committed.
There was a correlation between that and the welfare incentivizing mothers.
I know that, you know that, but that's not
what he's calling out. That's what he's calling
before
out.
They were given civil rights is a weird way of saying it. I'm sorry, that's a weird way.
That's exactly what that dude was just saying. Making an argument about how he said it. Fuck that shit. What he said was still true and factual.
Because what he said, no, it's not true. It didn't have anything to do with civil rights. It didn't have anything to do with civil rights.
Okay, again. We don't. First off, neither one of us have the direct.
First off, why does he? So I think I'm more equipped to talk about it than him.
First off, neither one of us have the direct quote, but because you think you remember it a certain way, you're condemning Charlie Kirk, and I'm just like, what are you talking about? The point that he was trying to make was that black fathers need to be in the homes, which is fucking true, and not
all fathers should be in the homes. All fathers.
God.
But yes, yeah,
it's
but
a problem in the black community more so
torrented a
than
movie
it is in
or something,
others.
right?
Yes, all fathers need to see. This is what I'm talking about. Black people are too sensitive.
No, I'm not being sensitive. I'm being a realist.
It's like you don't gotta argue everything.
But you know what? I wish I was, because I'd rather be sensitive than be a non-empathetic sociopath, because that's crazy to not have empathy. Like, that's wild. So I'd rather be more sensitive, but I'm not being sensitive. I'm being a realist.
But those aren't the only two options. And again, you're the only person on the planet saying Charlie Kirk didn't have empathy. I've never heard anybody say
I'm
that.
the only one on the planet saying
You're the
that.
only person
Where
I've
did I
heard
get
say
it
that.
from?
Huh?
Well,
I
he
don't
says it on the
know.
clip that I was playing to you, I believe. I don't remember. There's so many of them. I don't know. But
I
yeah,
don't
no,
know.
his
I don't know
exact
why
what he
people
said
are
it was a new age
characterizing this
concept.
guy.
He said it's
This
the
guy literally
problem
just
with our
went and
society.
debated people. He didn't say
Well, he
he's like
debated
literally
young
middle of the
people.
road. This guy's literally the
Let's
most
keep
middle
it.
of the
Who did
road
he debate? He
Republican you could
debated young
find.
people.
And he just went and debated people.
He
Went to
debated
college
people.
campuses
He
and
didn't
talked.
debate people. He didn't debate young Pharaoh. He debated young people like who were,
Yeah,
you
young
know,
Pharaoh was
they
welcome
all
to go to the
sounded
college
stupid.
campus
Why would young Pharaoh go to the college campus? He
because
wasn't that
Charlie
smart.
Kirk did.
Okay, but
That's
young
where the
Pharaoh
debate
wasn't
is
debating
because that's where the
18-year-olds.
debate is.
He wasn't. I know, but why? My thing, my personal musing is why didn't he go to boardrooms and debate, or like adults, like people his age? It seems like he just wanted to
He
debate
did talk to people his age.
people.
He was 31 when
Anyway,
he died. He was a
they weren't in
kid.
college. What are you talking
He's
about?
not a
He went to
kid. Right. There are
freshman.
people that are 31 years old that are still in college. Stop playing. He was their age. He started
That's
when
who
he
he
was
was. It's a
right. He
youth
started when he was
organization,
there.
Aaron. You just said it was a youth
He started
organization.
when he was
Youth,
their
youth,
age and he
youth,
continued on
youth.
as he grew older.
Like
But he was
I
only
consider
31.
31 youthful.
Huh?
Anyway, so about the cult leader, I mean the cult following. Here's one thing, and maybe you can help me understand this. Maybe I'm looking at it wrong, but every other tweet, or what is it called now? Every other X post, um, is saying when one of our heroes dies, we hold vigils. When one of their heroes die, they loot and riot and blah blah blah. Number one, who the George Floyd was nobody's freaking hero. Like it's so weird. Anyway, I'll let you explain first, and if you don't understand why I don't understand it, I will explain my position
To
because
say
it
that George Floyd wasn't anybody's hero, the way that he
wasn't.
was lionized by the left during that period of time. I mean, he was
Yeah,
buried in a
but we
gold
know that.
casket. That
We
motherfucker
know
was
that the
buried in a
left. We know
okay,
that the
who's
left
we?
politicians. What the
Who's
people that?
we?
Okay,
You
so
went from
they
talking about
know
everybody to
goddamn
talking
well.
about the
They talk
people that
about.
know something specifically.
Oh no. Okay, so the people that are posting it, they also say like the left media, the left politicians, so they know that it was a assisted movement. Like they know that
They know it was what?
an assisted movement. The
What
Black
was
Lives
an
Matters,
assisted movement?
the George Floyd extravaganza.
Okay, what's your point?
My point is, how are they comparing George Floyd and Charlie Kirk? What are the similarities there, please?
I don't know. I've not heard the George
You're
Floyd.
lying. Are you telling the truth?
I
That's
heard them
all I
compare
see. Oh
Charlie
my
Kirk.
God.
Oh my God. I've
Oh
I've
my
heard them
God.
I've heard them compare Charlie Kirk to Martin Luther King,
Okay,
to
explain that one
Kennedy,
to me then. Explain that one to me,
right? To
please.
Kennedy. In fact,
Explain that one
I
to me.
saw this one thing that explained how Kennedy, King, and Kirk, all their letters end
Oh
in
my
K
God.
and all the 33s in it or something like that.
Want to know why there's so much 33 symbolism surrounding the Charlie Kirk assassination? Because this was a Masonic ritual called King Kill 33. Kennedy was the first King Kill 33 ritual, Martin Luther King was probably the second, and now we have Charlie Kirk as the third. 3 Ks Kennedy, King, and now Charlie Kirk, K, K, K. K is the 11th letter of the alphabet, 3 Ks, 33. It took 33 hours to capture the shooter. Charlie Kirk was killed on September 10th, 33 days before his October 14th birthday. We've all seen this photo of the 3 rows of baseball caps with 47 on it. 4 plus 7 equals 11. Times 3, 33. 47 is an important number to the Masonic system. It's the 47th proposition of Euclid, also known as the Pythagorean's theorem. This represents the Masonic symbol circling the square. It means doing the impossible, like the killing of the king ritual.
I've not seen anybody compare Charlie Kirk to George Floyd. I don't know
Oh my
where you're getting
God.
this
Are
stuff
you
from.
serious? I'm gonna open my X right now. I'll just read it to you if it comes. Everything that
I
I've
have not seen
seen
anybody
about that.
say George Floyd and
That's
Charlie Kirk were just
crazy.
alike.
Algorithms are a trip. Yeah, right here. The first thing that comes up on mine is weird. I don't remember people going out and destroying George Floyd memorials, do you? Because I guess somebody destroyed a Charlie Kirk memorial. Now that person is either stupid or lying, because of course George Floyd memorials were fucking destroyed. But what is the comparison? Why George
I
Floyd
haven't
and why?
seen a George Floyd memorial destroyed except by lightning, and
Are
I
you
have seen a Charlie
kidding? Oh
Kirk
my
memorial
God.
destroyed.
Oh my God.
I
Okay,
haven't
fine,
seen
fine.
it.
Okay, that's
I'm just
fine.
saying I haven't seen
Well,
it.
now you know. So, and then let's
Now I've
see.
heard.
Okay, now you've heard. So I'm just seeing if there's any more just right on the first page because oh my God. You know what? The one here, I'll show you, or I will tell you exactly they say the exact words in the same order. It's like a cut and paste. So I replied to one. I can tell you exactly what it says. And what it says is Lindy Lee says, when George Floyd was killed, they burned down my street and caused $2 billion in damages nationwide. When Charlie Kirk was murdered, conservatives from around the world came together in love, song, and prayer. Don't tell me the two sides are the same.
Okay, so what's your point?
That's a George Floyd comparison. I'm saying that's George Floyd being compared to
It's
Charlie
not a
Kirk.
comparison to George Floyd. They're talking about what happened after he died.
Okay,
and how
look.
the reactions are. It's not
Okay, here's another one. Here's another one. Comparison. Convicted felon drug addict media treats him as a saint. Charlie Kirk talks to college kids. His death is mocked by media outlets. There's so many people who have died. Why is it George Floyd and Charlie Kirk?
That is a contrast, not saying that they're alike.
So
not it's a contrast. They're saying this is how the left acts and this is how the right acts.
Right, but they're doing it with only that. They're not bringing in. There's so many other like situations of people who died. Like, okay, Charlie Kirk was not murdered by a police officer in the middle of an unresolved police on citizen
so you think it was because the way he
going on?
You think since he didn't die by a cop, he got shot in front of his wife and kids, that's less of a reason
Why
to
did you say that?
riot?
That's a horrible thing to have happened. I'm not saying that.
Saying, what are you talking
about?
I'm
saying the reason why most of the people were rioting because of a police on citizen violent display. They weren't rioting because George Floyd was a good person.
Violent and childish and uneducated.
No, why would you say that? These are young people that are being told
that
you
violent,
need a voice. This is how you make yourself heard.
And uneducated. If they were educated, they would have understood the psyop from the start.
They didn't understand.
If they were mature, they would have known how to process their feelings.
They didn't have the tools. They don't have the tools. People aren't born like that. That's how stupid and dumb to say.
They're being manipulated.
Exactly, by a cult, right?
Right. But the right wasn't manipulated by a cult. They didn't go hit the streets.
Murderous train ape. That's funny. That's racist. Yeah, the gun death thing, whatever. See, this is like, here's Charlie Kirk response to George Floyd. I get that you think that that's a fair comparison because of a reaction to something. I don't know. Like, it's not even the same situation. Like, 2 lives were lost. Okay, but that's not what it was about. It was about a long-standing dispute, I'll say, that the citizens have with the police, and that was the latest straw to break the latest camel's back.
No, it wasn't.
And it was assisted.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was. There was an execution on live TV, played over and over and over and over again. God bless those children.
Wasn't. George Floyd wasn't even about race.
I didn't say that. I said police versus citizen. Where did you get race from?
Okay. I thought you said something else. I
misunderstood.
I didn't. But the point that I'm trying to make
that's why it's completely different.
The point it's not different.
Yes, it is. And
somebody was executed, according to you, somebody was executed on camera in front of everybody. One guy got executed one way, one guy got executed a different way. They both got executed.
I don't know. Okay.
Yes or no?
Yeah, that's not what I was talking about, though. We're talking about the response.
They both got executed, right? That we can agree on. That they both got executed. Yeah. And we can agree that the reaction from the right was prayer vigils. The reaction from the left was burning shit up. Huh?
No, that wasn't even what they were like. The left put up a lot of pictures of George Floyd and whatnot, but the fight wasn't about that. That's not what people were rioting about. The riots or whatever they're calling it. The riots.
How are you on both sides of the issue at the same time?
Bruh, because I can see both sides of something.
You can't be on both sides of the issue.
But you can't be logical at all.
You can't be jumping back and forth on both sides of the argument. I can't even have a conversation. I feel like when they were saying stop making me defend Donald Trump, I feel like that with Charlie Kirk, because I'm kind of over it, like in a way, like I understand what's going on and how everybody feels and like that, right? But like I see somebody post something, I'm just like, he didn't really say that, or like that's not really how he is. Like I've been watching this guy. Like he's just not like that. He's just not like that. I have not seen, even if he said some shit that was like a little off the wall or could be construed, it didn't come from a place where he was like a racist guy. He was inarticulate when he said it.
I didn't understand why even talk about. I just don't understand why I don't know, like,
He
okay,
was there to talk
let me
about
give you an
any and
example, okay?
everything.
I'm
He
not jumping
didn't need.
subjects. Let me give you an
Yeah.
example. Okay, so yesterday, I won't say where we live, but like we're out of the way of like mainstream Oakland, okay? And so it's a quiet community. And yesterday, like four sheriffs went by and they ran up the block, and then drove up the block, and then a helicopter went over, and then there was like we turned the corner and there's like six other cops up the street. And it turns out that some white dude had taken a kid and was trying to take her to the into some hills or whatever, and they were going to get that kid, which I found interesting, and also yay, I would have helped. But I don't get on the screen and being like, if I did speak about it, I would just say there was a kidnapping, this pedophile, whatever. I wouldn't say this white pedophile. Like Charlie Kirk had a way of putting race in everything, which
I've not seen
affects.
it. I've not seen
Okay,
it.
well then let me give you an example, and I'm sure we could find this clip if we wanted to. When he was talking about when Irina, that woman, got stabbed on the train.
Mhm.
He said a woman, she can't just be sitting there. I'm paraphrasing, but the word that he used is accurate. So a woman can't just be sitting on the train minding her business and some black guy comes up and stabs her. And I'm just like, dude was a crazy he was a
And
bad
he was
person.
black.
Like, why even I know, but that's my point. Is like I wouldn't have said like some white dude ran up the hill with a kid.
Yeah, you would.
That's just me. No, I
You
wouldn't
just
have.
did.
I would today.
You
No, I
literally
just
just
told
did.
you. I just told you. I said
Okay,
no.
but when you
I
told me
didn't.
the
I
story,
said
you
no.
said
I
a
did
white
not.
kid.
No, I didn't. You want to rewind it? No, I did not.
Yes, you
No,
totally
I
did.
did not, Aaron. I said
Okay.
some guy had taken the girl, and then I said, oh no, I said some white guy to you because I'm trying to tell you that when I relate it back to people, I would never just say that. Like I'm saying, like this is what he did. So that makes it seem like it was a white guy. I'm telling you, there was a white guy that ran up a hill, but I wouldn't say that to people. I wouldn't be like this white pedophile. Like there's no point in that. He was a fucking pedophile. So he took a kid up a hill. I'm just saying this
Okay.
guy was crazy. I'm
An
not gonna.
accurate descriptor is not racist.
Okay, an accurate descriptor is unnecessary in a country that is very, very race
There
based
is
in
no such
terms of
thing
their.
as an accurate descriptor is always necessary.
Aaron, let's not
There's
pretend.
no
Okay.
instance where
Okay, let me
there's
school
no
you on
instance
something then.
where
Let me
you
tell
could.
you something. Let me
Yeah.
tell you something. Since you seem convinced that it's a displaced sensitivity that black people have. So let me tell you
Well, I
something.
think that especially is a nothing burger. Like seriously, he was a black guy.
Mm. Okay, so let me tell you something. In a
Okay.
country where the history of media and has had extreme, stark, blatant discrepancies when explaining something that white people do and something that black people do, that has actually been now stained the foundation of America. It has, whether you admit it or not. That's not sensitivity, that's true. Black people had a drug problem, they're called crack whores and crack babies and this and that. White people have a drug problem, it's opioid use disorder, and it's they call for the poor babies, let's take it. So like that whole thing, it forms opinions on people that people have to deal with here on the ground floor, even if it's coming from on high. So that's irresponsible of him in all of his infinite Jesus wisdom to do, because his group of his followers are young people that are impressionable. That's why he goes to them, right? So when he does stuff like that, it affects people on the ground floor. Like that's not, he didn't have to do that. We're already so race like like what is the word?
So what?
Aggressive. I was giving you one little example, but
Yeah, but
they
I get
all
it. I know, but it's not an example of anything
I'm not
substantial. It's so
okay to you,
insubstantial
to
and
you, to you,
inconsequential.
to
I
you,
know
to you. I
it's
get that.
to me
I get
it's
that.
so
Just
insubstantial. I don't
know
even understand how you could waste that much breath talking about it.
I
That's what
didn't
I'm
waste
saying.
any breath. What are you
No,
talking about? I
I
didn't
know.
waste the breath I was
I'm
giving
talking
you.
about me. I'm talking
You
about
seem to
me.
be confused.
I'm
So I
talking
tried to
about
help you
me.
unconfuse you.
Huh?
I said you seem
I'm
to be
talking about
confused.
me. Right. So
Okay.
he didn't need to use the word black as a descriptor.
Ever, but that
So
was one
fucking what?
example
I
of what
know.
you did
But
all
so
the
fucking
time.
what? So
Okay.
what? It wasn't wrong to use it.
Let me ask you a question.
It wasn't
Okay.
wrong to use
Okay.
it. He didn't have to, granted, but
I
it
didn't
wasn't
say he was
wrong.
wrong. I didn't say he was wrong. He can do
I
whatever he
know,
wants.
but it's not
And he got
racist. It's not wrong. It's not racist. Some you didn't like.
Oh, I mean, I didn't dislike it. I don't like the reactions of the people on the ground. That's what I'm saying. Since he affected so many people, these cult
The reactions of people on
like
the ground.
people. Yeah, those people. So let me ask you this. Have you noticed any heightened racism since Charlie Kirk's death
No,
online specifically?
no.
It's always like that. It's always
I always like what?
I don't know. Let's go back to my ex. We can talk about it. I said I'm gonna share my X screen again. I don't know what's on there, but I'm pretty sure I do.
Well, before you do that, let me show you this. I think I mean
I'm not gonna
I,
say Charlie Kirk was a
I know
great
that
guy
we
I'm
hate
dealing
doing
with.
this. I know that we really hate doing this, but I'm just gonna show you again. Not again, but I'm gonna show you anyway. Okay, so just for clarification, defining a cult
I
leader.
said his followers, not his leader, not the leader. I didn't say he was a cult
Okay.
leader. I said his followers act like they are in a cult.
Okay, so then we'll just skip to the end here. All right,
Sure.
because you can't have a cult without a cult leader, but all right. So Charlie Kirk exhibits some cult-like traits: charismatic devotion, fear-based mobilization, and echo chamber tactics that could justify classifying him as a cult leader in a loose, metaphorical sense, particularly for how TPUSA radicalized young conservatives. See, I don't even like how they wrote this. This is like weird.
True.
Grok is kind of like left-leaning on this, but all right.
It's not left leaning, it's reality.
I don't know that he was radicalizing anybody by having conversation.
I do from what I see on my feed, at least. You may not, but it
Yeah,
does radicalize people. And he knew that. He knew
and
that.
I'd have to go and look and understand what they actually meant by radicalized,
We should go through
what
this.
that means, what that means to them. But anyway, this view is prominent among left-leaning critics. Like I said, this view is prominent among left-leaning critics who see his
Right.
work as a dangerous pipeline to extremism. Yeah, I don't know how a conversation is a pipeline to extremism. That's me personally. However,
Right.
he lacks the full hallmarks of a traditional cult. Examples: total isolation, doctrinal exclusivity, or personal enrichment via members. More
Right.
accurately, he led a high control political movement with cultish elements akin to figures like Alex Jones or early Tea Party influencers. The label cult leader is politically charged and often used to discredit opponents, but it's substantiated by his methods, manipulative parallels. In a polarized era, such dynamics risk escalating violence as seen in reactions to his recent assassination. All right, well, that's an interesting answer. I don't like which I don't know. I don't know why, if this is the case, my feed is only giving me like, I mean, I'm getting full speeches. I'm getting full, like, I'm watching this guy talk for hours and I'm just not seeing it. I'm not.
The thing
And
is,
just
like,
because it pops up, like something he says is inarticulate along the way, I mean, I get it. He didn't say that right. I got it. But like his heart, like he was never like trying to hurt nobody. He wasn't
okay,
like
but try to remember what I said. Like, I'm not talking about Charlie Kirk as much as I'm talking about the people that were
that
his
following.
quote unquote
So you saying that
followers.
his followers worship him and they
In the
would do
wake of
anything that
his
he said.
passing, it has gotten crazy. Like, I don't know. I don't have anything to liken it to. I really don't. But I will say this, that part of it is like how they're uplifting his wife and saying that she should run for vice president, and that she is, that when she said, this felt cult-like to me when she said on her in her I don't know what that was, memorial speech, I guess. I don't know. I wouldn't have been speaking that early after my husband's death, so I don't even know what something like that is called. But when she said um that his voice will not stop here, they will not silence him, they will not do this, they will not do that. It was like one dude that shot him, like this other dude, right? And so when that talk, like that language about they will not silence him and we will not let them win. We will go after them with all their, you know.
Okay, so first off, even according to the official narrative,
Mhm.
it's more than one person, first off. Secondly, when she's saying they, she's talking about the ideology.
Which
And
ideology?
thirdly, we're
Which
talking
ideology,
about
though? Maybe that's why I'm
leftist
unclear.
ideology
Oh, left,
because
because
yes,
they didn't want
because
him to talk about queers and black people because he wasn't one or whatever. Like that? Is that what you mean?
no, they don't want to be criticized because they know they're wrong and they can't stand up to a full debate.
Well,
That's what it is.
not all of them
Yeah,
were
it's the
wrong,
same with black
obviously,
folks too. They
but
don't
not
want to be
all of them were.
criticized because they can't debate it because they know
Well,
it's
that's
true.
not true.
That's
Like
why,
when you
yes, it
see these
is.
groups of black fathers in Chicago going around and policing the
It's
knuckleheads out
absolutely
there.
true. If
Well,
black
nobody would
folks,
see that
yeah,
though, because
it's
positive black
absolutely
people, if
true.
they're not Coons or Tatum, then they don't get shown or whatever. But
What'd you say? What'd you say?
not Coons or Tatum, then they don't get shown. Like those are the good blacks. I get
Don't
it.
get
Kansas
shown
is a good
what?
black. I would say that you don't see that like with the Black father groups in Baltimore and Chicago mainly, where they started going around and policing these knuckleheads out there and being fathers for the whole community because obviously fathers have been taken away from the homes. You don't hear anything like that. Like that's not.
And tie that back to what we were talking about.
I said it for a reason. I mean,
I
because you
know.
said, oh no, you said, yeah, because you said, you can't criticize black people. They can't take accountability. These black fathers are going out and criticizing black people, making people take accountability and keeping the streets safe out there to the
But
best
not
of
out
their ability.
loud
Huh?
because they're not being seen anywhere, you said, right? So it's not really
Yeah, because
loud.
they won't
Who's
show
they won't show?
the media strings that are control the platforms. Like it doesn't get
I
shown.
think things go viral without the media.
Yeah, not when it's about positive people, black people doing positive things. If you don't see that,
So,
then
but
you
how is
might
that
want
the
to take your
media's fault?
blinders off. What do you mean? I'm talking about doesn't get, you know how the algorithm picks what you watch? It doesn't pick stuff like that.
What are you talking about? Okay, you can't
What
talk
are you
about.
not
Okay,
understanding? You
hold on, hold
said
on,
that, oh
hold
my
on, hold on,
God.
hold on, hold
I'm
on.
good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I know that when you watch
You
it
just
back, you'll be
jumped
clear.
like
You'll
from
be clear. You'll be
the
clear. It'll
algorithm, from
come
the
clear.
media to the
Clarity is
algorithm. You can't talk about everything at the same
I didn't talk
time.
about everything at the same time. You said that black people cannot be criticized. And I
I
gave you
said they're
example of
sensitive. They don't
yes, they
like to be
can in a
criticized.
positive way.
I didn't say they
There's
can't
groups
be
that are doing this.
criticized. See, again, language is very important. I didn't say they
I
can't
thought
be
you said it wasn't
criticized. I
because
said
the
they
way he
don't
said
like
something,
it.
the way he said something doesn't matter. Is language important or is it not? You can't jump from one thing to another, can you? It
Language
makes
is
me.
important.
Oh, it is important. Okay,
Yes.
so saying that black people just took a white person's spot, that's the only reason why they got into politics. They don't have the brain capacity to exist. Otherwise, that matters.
What else is DEI?
First of all, DEI, as you and I know, and we may as well share with the people, DEI affected black people to a percentage
Okay,
of
don't change the subject
0.05.
again.
No, I'm
Stop changing
saying
the
so
subject.
him using
No, stop
no,
changing the subject. Did DEI give black people that would
no,
not have had a chance, or
no.
give people in general?
Yes,
People,
yes,
I know.
yes.
See, because this is what you do. This is why it's so hard to talk to you because you talk
What are you
about that
talking about?
17 different things.
You just told me that words
Did
matter. I wanted to
DEI,
be
let
specific.
me
You're
finish the
welcome.
question.
You're
Did
welcome.
DEI, yes or no, attempt to solve racial disparities by giving black people opportunities where they didn't have them before?
No,
That's not what they did. That's not what the point of it
no.
was.
You know
Okay.
that. You know
Then what
goddamn
was
well
the
that
point?
that's not what it was for.
Then
It
what was it
affected
for?
what? First of all, it was
Then what was
developed
it
in a
for to
think
your
tank. Hold
estimation?
on. It was developed in a think tank and
Okay, what was it
benefited
for though?
to let white women, it depended on the era, but first it was white women, then it was gay people, LGBTQ, et cetera, et cetera. There was never a time when black people benefited the most from DEI. They were the face of and remain the face of, even with Charlie
Would
and
you
his
please
followers,
answer the
but they
damn
did not
question?
benefit from
Would
it.
you please
On,
stop
yes,
changing
the
the
official
subject?
party line.
You gotta stay on the
I
subject.
don't do the official party line, bro, but yeah,
I
the
didn't
official
say
party
the official
line
party line.
was.
I said, what was DEI meant to do? Then you fuzz that
Are
out and
you
you're not
serious
talking
right
about
now? Are
nothing.
you serious right now? Let me say, okay, really pause for a second. Are you
Mhm.
serious when these civil rights movements and such are developed in think tanks and then they hit the streets? They're for two different purposes. Are you talking about the purpose that is the real purpose, or are you talking about the purpose that the people believe? That's what I want to know, because you know that these things are not developed to help anyone.
We can only talk about one thing at a time.
I don't understand which one you're talking about. That's why I'm asking. Are you talking about the one that was developed in the think tank and
We are
the
talking, okay, I don't know what think tank you're talking about. I don't know. That's like,
Tavistock?
what are you talking about?
Tavistock.
DEI
Tavistock.
did not come from a Tavistock think tank.
Okay. Okay. So diversity,
These
equity, and
concepts are
inclusion came
older than the
from.
Tavistock Institute. Yes,
Okay,
these are
that's not
not
my
new
understanding.
concepts.
My
I
understanding is
know.
that race, that ah, it just fell out of my head. That the thing that they were teaching, the race
Okay.
theory race. What is the hell it was
Critical
called?
race theory?
Yeah, that was developed in a think tank and.
Right. But critical race theory is the repackaging of another theory. It
Mhm.
wasn't created in Tavistock. These ideas
Okay.
go back further.
Okay, so they go back further to help the people.
But again, we're not talking about critical race theory. You got to stay on the subject. We were talking about DEI.
I know
right?
DEI.
Now, according to you,
part of
DEI has the purpose that they give to the most of the people that most people understand and go by, but it has another purpose that only the elite understand, right? That's according to you.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Right. But we're talking about what everybody knows as DEI. That's what Charlie Kirk is talking about. That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about the possible negative right. We have to stay on the subject. So we're talking about what most Americans consider to be DEI. And it was made to give Black folks a chance.
You're gonna keep saying Black folks, but okay.
People, whatever. People that weren't getting a chance.
Or
whatever. It don't matter. The point is
people that were held out of college.
The people the point is the people that they had to go and get were oftentimes less qualified so they can meet this color quota.
That's fine. I guess that's true because they didn't have.
If you wonder if the pilot can fly a plane and you understand all this information, it's not racist.
Well, you
went and picked some dude that wasn't completely qualified.
Or you have half of a brain and a heart and realize, damn, this dude he's probably going to work twice as hard. When that Black pilot.
There's no evidence of that. That's ridiculous.
Oh, well,
why would I assume
that Black pilot that was
Why would I assume he's going to work twice as hard when he got a hand up in the first place? That doesn't even make no sense.
Not a hand up. If you're kicked down for 400 years and then you're giving away into something.
We're not talking about 400. Stay on the subject.
That is the subject.
We're not talking about 400 years history.
Why we talk? Okay, so I have a question. Jumping to the next. So them calling Charlie Kirk, a civil rights activist or hero or whatever. That you've heard that, right? Like Glenn Beck did a show on it, and that's how the history.
But I did see this. Let me show you
civil rights. Hold on, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Now that you did hear me say it, what do you perceive were Charlie Kirk's civil rights activism? What was his activism? Because I imagine that it just means that he was making sure that white people.
I don't see Charlie Kirk being an activist at all. Everything that I've seen from Charlie Kirk is him talking. He goes to different places and talks.
Okay,
fights for his team. Talks about his team.
He fights for free speech and his truth.
Yeah, his team. He's
civil
free speech.
The only civil rights
believe in God. He says the family's important. He just talks about the shit that he thinks is important. That's all I've ever seen him do. I've not seen him do.
We're learning outside of what you've seen him do today, right?
No, you haven't shown me anything yet.
Yes, I tried to. You cut it off and then you went into your videos.
You showed me this thing that was like edited. They like taking like 2 seconds and then putting it with 2 seconds. Like that's not a full conversation. There's no context. Show me that in context, and you won't feel the same way either.
I will, because I have a problem with just descriptors as a whole. And this dude talking about Black people at all. Like, why are you doing that? You don't know anything about the situation.
He
knows
has a
nothing.
right to talk about whatever the hell he wants to talk about. It doesn't make him racist.
I didn't say he didn't have the right. I didn't say he didn't have the right.
He's not doing anything wrong.
Is a civil rights icon. Charlie Kirk was a civil rights leader.
Who's that, Glenn Beck?
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like Glenn Beck.
Yeah. Did a whole
Well, I mean, Glenn. I mean, if you listen to Glenn Beck,
I don't. Okay, that's not fair. That's not fair. Not fair. And I've seen shit where Glenn Beck.
No, what I mean. Okay, let me clarify. Let me clarify what I mean when I say that.
It's time.
There is obviously an overpouring of emotion by people on the right with regards to Charlie Kirk's death. And it's to be expected, and they're overreaching and they're doing all this stuff, but they're sad. I get it. Like they're super sad. They lost their guy. He was a good guy. He didn't do nothing. He didn't do nothing to hurt nobody. And they shot him cold in front of his wife and kids. So they're having an emotional overreaction. It is what it is.
Okay, and I understand that, but he wasn't
George
shot
Floyd
by
riots was an emotional overreaction as well.
But he wasn't shot by a Black dude, right?
Huh?
He wasn't shot by a Black person, right? So the vitriol being shown towards Black folks to me is confusing. Like I'm confused, and it makes me feel uncomfortable.
Black people.
Well, that's what I was trying to show you before, and the fact that you don't see it, excuse my oh my God.
You haven't shown it to me yet.
Well, okay, that's
I haven't
fine.
seen any vitriol towards
because
Black
we
people.
stopped scrolling and I called you back, so I will show you. I don't even know what
It's time to call him what he really was. Because of what he died doing, Charlie Kirk is a civil rights icon. Charlie Kirk was a civil rights leader that was martyred standing up for civil rights. And it is time that our side declares that and stands on that and claims that territory. These so-called civil rights leaders that have been around for the last 30 years are jokes. They're money hustlers, they're dividers, and they have nothing to do with civil rights. Martin Luther King was a civil rights leader. Martin Luther King was that man. RFK Jr. could even be called a civil rights leader. JFK could be called a civil rights leader. They led the way. Everyone else was just playing it for cash and for power, and I'm sick of it. Charlie Kirk died standing up and trying to show people how to exercise your civil right in a civilized manner. And they gunned him down because of it. It's time to start calling him Charlie Kirk, the civil rights leader.
Okay, so he was reaching with a wait, don't scroll yet. Let's talk about that for a second, because he was reaching with a couple things, but he wasn't reaching with what I heard you say. That's a reach. That wasn't a reach when you said that.
What?
Like
What
I heard you say it.
I
I
said
don't
I can
remember what
only
you said. Okay.
imagine.
Huh? Like, well, just play it, and I mean, I want to, because like I was breaking down. Like, first off, civil rights was not a movement for Black people. Secondly,
Like DEI. Why can you say that about that, but not about DEI? DEI was not a movement for Black people either.
Okay.
On the face, it was just like civil rights.
Because when I'm talking to you, and it's just you and me talking about these things, then we talk about the underbelly. But when I'm talking about civil rights as a whole, I'm talking about what most people know to be civil rights. There's different contexts within our conversation.
I'm sorry, I don't find that to be different. It's the same thing. People believe civil rights was for Black people. They believe it was for Black people to be able to vote and for Black people to be able to have equal rights and for Black people to.
But that's a different conversation. The conversation I'm having right now is what most people know civil rights to be, not what I personally believe it to be. You understand?
I understand if that's what you had said, but you said the real when you started talking about civil rights. But go ahead, I guess continue.
Right now, I'm breaking them down based on what I personally believe.
Okay, so why couldn't I do that about DEI? That's what I didn't understand. Like, it's the same thing. Like we've not spoken on anything that is more comparable at this point than civil rights and DEI and the way it's presented versus the way it really was. We have not even touched on anything as comparable. So that's why I'm confused.
I'm confused because I keep trying to stay on the subject so we can follow it through, and you keep changing it. I'm not having a conversation with you. Now we're on Glenn Beck and doing like first thing we was on cult leader. Now we on this, we on that.
I told you I was jumping. I said next.
I keep trying to follow a certain conversation so I can finish that conversation.
Okay, fine. It just seemed like a double standard that you could say the truth about civil rights, but you couldn't say the truth about DEI. But that's why
I can say the truth about DEI, but in different contexts.
Okay,
if I'm talking about, listen, if I'm talking about what these laws, the secondary meanings behind these laws, that's a different conversation than what the general public and most people understand them to be. So when I'm talking about them in the context of what the general understanding of it is, I'm going to talk about it in the general understanding. If I digress and say, look, but I also think that this is this, I'm going to put that as an aside. It's not part of the regular conversation because it's too confusing.
Are you saying that when you say that I'm going to put that aside, are you saying that that's how I should also do it? That's how you'd like to converse? Because I'm not getting that from what you're saying. It just seems like you're just bragging.
I'm not ever, grown folks don't tell grown folks what to do. I'm not telling you what to do.
But I'm happy to hear it because I'd rather be understood than argue about something that we're not talking about. So if you're saying that that's what you would rather me do, because that's not usually how I converse.
Because listen, we both know, like, you know, if I say Trump is the president of the United States, I don't need somebody.
Not my president. I'm just kidding.
Right.
Sorry.
You see what I'm saying? Right.
I'm kidding.
And it derails the whole conversation. So then I'm like, but he is actually your president. He's actually he's run by the Jewish bankers.
No. Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
I do.
But generally, like we all know that Trump's the president. And so that's where I'm at with the conversation when I talk about like DUI or civil rights, like in a blanket statement, I'm talking about the general acknowledged what a thing is, right? We can go deeper.
Okay.
But that's just a different thing.
Yeah, I just didn't want to confuse it more. Like I'd rather stay on.
So when I say that civil rights is for Black people, I'm not saying that I don't understand the communist undertones and I don't understand that MLK had his freaky side. I'm not saying none of that shit, right?
He got his freak
All I'm
on.
saying is when we're talking about civil rights, we're talking about the what's the word I'm looking for? Not pejorative, but the
The
common
official party
knowledge.
line, yeah, common.
Yeah,
I
the
just say
common
official
knowledge
party
of
line.
what
That's where it comes from.
right. Because if I keep,
God.
yeah,
Yeah.
because
Okay.
everything can be
So
broken apart like that. So, like, literally everything can be
we
broken
should do
apart
a
like
show
that.
on that.
I know, you know what I'm saying? I could say,
Oh
he's signed to
God.
this record label, and then you can say, well, really, this record label signed to this
Yeah,
record
Leah
label, and
Cohen is
then
actually
you know,
a
what I'm saying?
dual
Right? You see what I'm
citizenship.
saying? But
Yeah.
just for the purposes of having the conversation,
Understood.
we got to be able to stay on the same thing.
Okay. So the civil rights thing.
So
Charlie.
I forgot everything that Glenn Beck said, but I don't know that I equate Charlie Kirk to a civil rights leader, although I do definitely do you want to stop the share? You can stop
Yeah,
it.
I was gonna keep scrolling afterwards, but I could
Yeah,
just start it
but you can
again. I
come
just
back
have,
in.
yeah, yeah. Oh,
Um,
cat's free.
I would be lying if okay. I definitely see similarities between Charlie Kirk, JFK, and MLK. I definitely do. I definitely do. All these guys did was talk, basically. All these guys did was talk,
But they
and
didn't debate.
they were
They didn't
shot by a bullet from a lone gunman from far away. You know what I'm saying? Like it all kind of seems like that's my take on
right.
it. Like, and I'm
Assassinated is the word.
right. I'm not saying that their messages were comparable or anything like that, but the way in which they were taken out, for me, that's what is evocative of MLK or JFK to me, the way that it happened.
Right. But that's it. Like that's it.
Well,
There's
yeah, I
like
mean, I'm not looking
he
for
wasn't
new
that
things to
doesn't
make
make you a
connections
civil
to.
rights, like that
Yeah.
doesn't make you a civil
Yeah, I don't
rights
know if I would go
hero.
that far. I do understand his point, but it's so weird to
It's
watch
so yeah.
white people explain to us what civil rights is and what it was supposed to be. I didn't really enjoy that. He is a civil right. I mean, I get it, and you're allowed to say it. I'm not like, but I'm
They're
not.
saying that he died for free speech, I guess it was his reach,
Well, he
but I don't.
did. He
Well,
literally
not
did.
for. I don't. I mean, I don't know.
Well, no, he
I
died.
think he died. My opinion is that he died because he was a not non-disputable, in my opinion. He was a polarizing person,
Yes.
and he was controversial, and because of that, somebody got pissed off and killed him. If we're to believe what happened on the surface, I don't
Well,
believe
I
that it
also
was
want to add
because
to
he was
that, though.
defending.
But
Go
I think
ahead.
we need to add to that also that the mainstream narrative is very left leaning and very inflammatory. The
I mean,
mainstream rhetoric. I mean, they're
but
like I
right
said,
now, I'm getting
but
the
like I said,
right
they're calling him
rhetoric.
racist and they're calling him a fascist and they're calling him all this stuff and like this, that. And I'm just
So
like,
weird. I'm not
dude,
getting
he's
that.
not. He just disagrees with you. That's it. He just
See,
has a
I'm not
different
getting that.
opinion.
It's very strange. That's why I wanted to scroll a bit. It's interesting to look at other people's algorithms because mine is all right. Well, I won't say all, but mostly because not all because people respond, but mostly the right just going in on the left and the you didn't know about charliesmurderers.com or no, you did.
No, I did not. Did you watch the news
The-
this week?
no, I haven't had a chance to yet.
You can
I
you
watched the
can
Charlie Kirk. I watched the Charlie Kirk, but it was like early on, I believe. I mean, like there's been more since then that has happened.
yeah, of course.
Yeah,
It was for its time, but that was what I knew up
right,
until then. But you should definitely watch that. And people, if you're watching this, go ahead and go to D-Flirt on Rumble. And
Rumble. Mhm.
yeah,
It's a
check
great
out the
news show,
news
y'all,
this
even
week
if
because
Aaron is
well, because the woman was talking about when there is a celebration over the political assassination of an opponent, it usually doesn't go
Mhm.
well for the celebrators. And she's watching people to see how this actually turns out and plays out. And that's what I'm doing too. I mean,
I've said it before and I'll say it again. I've had too much education and too much training to ever see historical events the same way other people do. I'm a PhD student of American history maintaining a 4.0. I'm not watching the event. I'm watching the public. I'm watching the people's reaction to the event because that's going to determine what happens next. Here's the pattern I've observed. The initial response to the assassination of Charlie Kirk was celebration in the streets. There were people standing on street corners holding signs. There were individuals who were coming all over social media, cheering, clapping. They were dancing with disco party lights in the background. It was a national celebration that someone had been assassinated. Historically speaking, national celebrations of the assassination of political rivals does not go well. Historically speaking, it doesn't go well. And very shortly after that, within an hour, the dominating discussion became a condemnation of those celebrations, with many people feeling like something has flipped. Some fuse has been lit. Nobody knows what's coming. Nobody knows what's happened. There's a feeling that something is turned. As somebody who studied history, you're right, something has been lit. Nobody knows what it's attached to yet. Nobody knows where this is going to go. But something has been lit, as it always does when you have national celebrations of political assassinations. Over the next several days, even weeks, I will be watching for additional patterns to emerge, because there are patterns that you can follow. There are things that pop up that let you know just what exactly is coming. And that's what I'm going to be watching for. The rollback and the illogical fallacy arguments have already begun from the celebrators and the individuals who supported their celebration. But even with that rollback, it's not enough to stop the momentum that has started on the side of those who find the celebration abhorrent. You should be paying attention, because the next few days are going to be really interesting.
I don't really.
Well, the weird thing for me with that was like they immediately jumped to what they criticized the left for during cancel culture. So they jumped immediately to that. And when I was reading through, because what they did on that website was they put their social media handles, if they had phone numbers, where they work, their boss's number, and it was an open call to get those people fired. And
I don't know if I agree with that.
Right. And the thing about it is that when I was reading through the comments, a lot of them were either personal experiences. Like well, I won't say a lot, but my cousin is one. And then there was another one, a professor who was anti-right, I guess. And he would sick people on them, supposedly, and call them and harass them and use, derogatory slurs and da-da-da. So that was personal. What?
I'm just thinking, like, all I know is if somebody shoot your mama in the head and then somebody else come by a day or two later talking about your mama couldn't cook.
Right. No, I hear that too.
That person might get their ass whooped. It might be a little sensitive. It might be a time and a place to say certain shit. Is all I'm saying.
But a lot of that stuff was in reaction to the way that they were rewriting Charlie as they knew him to be, and so they were like, "It's unfair to do that."
Happens to everybody when they die. That's how.
I mean, not usually so quick and so publicly, but I hear you. But what my point is, you're getting us off the subject. I didn't get to say my main point. My main point was that a lot of the stuff that I saw wasn't in celebration. It was either opinion, like when I told you my son's opinion on it, very mild opinions, personal experience, or personal, I'll just say opinion again. And it wasn't like, because I'm just going to say the job market fucking sucks right now. Everything's a little volatile. To go after someone's livelihood was crazy to me. And it was something that the right was so anti when the left had their stupid ass cancel culture moments, like there was bananas on both sides. So to me, that was like, that's what first made me be like, wait, what's going on? It seemed like I was in like a twilight zone, because they're actively calling for censorship when the right is always talking about free speech. And people that don't realize that's a problem, reaction, solution textbook. It frightens me. Like, I'm like, oh God, as much as we have censored right already, like without even knowing, it just doesn't seem like it's the thing that the people want to ask for. It's like you'd say all the time, like, it's just words, it's just descriptors, it's just this, don't let it get to you. It's like, let them have their freaking opinion. It's not hurting anyone. Like, it's stupid, it's evil. Well, hopefully they'll come about and be like,
it was hurting people, but not physically.
Okay. Right. Words are violence. They hated that.
No, they're
the
not
right
violence.
hated that. I know, but the right hated that. Now it's being treated like they are. And the other thing that this may be my opinion, but since I have so many George Floyd, Charlie Kirk, comparisons, what it felt like to me is that the right hadn't had, they were so distraught by the George
Are they
Floyd
comparing the
situation.
reaction or are they comparing the people?
That's what I want to know, because it looks to
Because
me
what
like
you
when you
showed
put
me,
them
they're
side by
comparing the
side,
reaction
I know, but they're putting these two. Why would the
because they're
reactions
comparing the
be
reactions.
compared? Well, why? Why would the reactions be
Because
compared
the
on
left
those
is
two different
violent and
things?
the right isn't
Right, but the left was,
violent.
hold on. The left was, I mean, some people will say that about January 6th. Like that'll be a comeback, I'm sure, but I don't see like those comparisons
Right. The
aren't
left is prone to
relevant because
violence. And
the
that's the
left
point
is
they're trying to
very,
make.
yeah, they are, but the
But that's the
right,
point they're trying to make.
but the right, come on, like the left has
Okay.
never said to me,
Okay. You
I
asked what's
hope
the
that
point?
you and your nigger family go meet George Floyd soon. Like that's never said to me on the left. So the violence is subjective, I guess, or in the
Okay.
eye
You're
of the
talking about
beholder.
words.
But
Words are not violence. So don't mix them
right,
up.
which is the same thing I'm saying about the right. Like that words are not
Right. But the
violent.
left is
So chill.
violent.
Yeah, but they weren't being violent in that moment to get their jobs taken away from them. Like
Okay. So
they
what?
were just saying words. They're saying
So
words.
what?
So I'm saying
You're
because they
changing the
were so,
subject.
hold
They
on.
were
The reason why
comparing the
I considered
reactions.
it
Okay.
cult-like, I
They were
consider it
comparing the
cult.
reactions because
They
one side is
not were
violent and one
not were.
side isn't. That's the point that they're trying to make.
Okay,
All right.
not were.
I will talk to you tomorrow.
Mhm.
All right.
That's fine.
I know you can keep going on this, but it
I
is what it
will,
is.
because I got radio today and with black people. So
Right. I gotta cut it
tune
off, but
in.
I don't know that we
KPOO.
talked about anything at all in particular today. It
I
feels
think we did. I
like
think that it's important to talk these things out. Like these things are, they fester,
look,
then it comes, or like, I mean, I learned
the
something
big
about you
takeaway,
today.
I think, is that for me, if I leave you with something, I think black folks are being way too sensitive and they do need to get their shit together. For
And if
real.
I leave you with a response to that, that black people have perfectly good reason to be sensitive if
Nope.
it were more, hold on.
I know. Sorry. Sorry. Get
No,
it
they don't.
out.
That doesn't mean no, they don't, by the way. So they have perfectly good reason to be sensitive, seeing that there's a sensitive past and things are being used to inflame that past and to resurrect that past. And sensitivity does not equate to loss of job and loss of livelihood. That literally is not a solution. What would Jesus do, y'all?
Yeah. My grandfather's past is not my past. It's my grandfather's past. Stop acting like
Then
they
why
did
would
that
I
stuff
be
to
like,
you.
your granddaddy did? Like, why would I say that to you
Yeah,
then?
but
Like,
the
that's
black
messed
folks need
up.
to stop acting like they were slaves. They weren't.
I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
act like I'm a
Yeah.
slave. I don't act
I
like
said
that.
black
I don't
people in
even think
general,
that that's a
they
thing.
weren't
Like, I
slaves.
don't think that that's a
They
thing.
weren't
And my
slaves.
husband's family was told him
They
his whole
weren't.
life, we were never
They weren't
slaves. We
actually
owned this
slaves.
land. So I don't know
They
what you're
shouldn't
talking
be that
about.
sensitive. They don't
There's
have reason to
so
be that
many people
sensitive.
that don't believe what you're
They
saying.
have
You sound
no
like
reason to
Charlie
be
Kirk's
that goddamn
people.
sensitive. They should be more
That's
sensitive about
unfortunate.
making sure that black folks are straight.
I just told you. I just told you about the fathers in
Yeah,
Chicago,
but
and
there's more of them shooting guns.